We had to delay it for 15 minutes just to make sure that no one's cheating or anything. But we are back up and running. If someone could let me know, drummer, I'll have to find out in 15 minutes, so it'll be what it's going to be. But if someone could let me know, I'm letting drummer know. I'm sorry, a little unprofessional, but so there'll be a 15-minute delay. So, I apologize to the people who are watching. Bear with us. Stay with us. I promise you, it's going to be a good match. But I've never had this before where the audio was not synced together. So, I'm not sure why I did that. No big deal. We'll deal with it. That's the interesting thing, as we're still waiting for this, man. Like, man, I've had some really bad things happen during streams. Like, it seems like every single time I go in cats, I don't know about you, but I think I do, because you were talking about your stream today. It never works the way you think it's gonna work, ever.
No,
it never
doesn't.
works. There's always an issue. For us, and I know this is the same for you. We always try something different. We try something new, just to try to improve every single time that we're doing it. It never goes totally right, and sometimes it's an issue that's like totally unrelated to the new changes that you made. So, but hopefully it's working. If not, we will be recording this. We will post it when it's all said and done, so you can watch the recording of it. We're getting really close to time for this stream. I have a bunch of 3AC guys looking me in the eyes. I'm so close to just turning my stream to the gameplay so that, you know what, screw it. I'm going to show it. You're going to be able to see what it looks like. Give me 1 second. Oh, and I got to share my screen for you. I apologize, my man.
You are all good.
Let's see here. And I got to get rid of that graphic. I apologize. That is from our St. Jude's thing that we did, which was great. Raised over $1,600. Shout out to KO. Shout out to KO for hosting that, for running it. That's a great thing that you did, my man. So we really appreciate it. Appreciate being involved with it. And yeah, it's amazing. This is literally what I'm dealing with right now. They have literally built. I'm gonna talk. You psychos. I'm literally on stream right now, and this is what you've done to me. No! Well. Yep. So that happened. So this is what it's boiled down to now. Yeah. So welcome to 3AC, gentlemen.
Looking at the 173rd side, it is quiet.
Is it quiet?
There's a few people on the beach right now. They don't seem to be up to too many shenanigans. We'll pop all over, and we'll see what they're doing. It looks like they're all seems to be standing in the beach, I believe, some sort of pre-game ritual.
Are they having maybe they're having a meeting, right? Maybe they're having a little pep talk,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could be. I mean, I'm pretty excited to see what they're doing. I mean, it looks like I saw Stealthy earlier and Dr. 903 popping over. They might say a little pregame hello to 173rd.
Oh, you know it, dude. You know it. And I do have... sometimes you do gotta capture these pre-match scenarios. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you got to, right? They have built up, if you look in the spawn for 3AC, they have built up this little fight club little area. I think that is. And we do got a map flip. So we do got a map flip. 57 seconds left. A-Kane was kicked for team killing. No shock there.
Yikes.
So hopefully he gets back. Oh, he's in. He's already in. You can see it right there. He is in. So, but we are a go. Really excited. Dude, I can't tell you enough. I am super excited for this. Actually, I think this is the first time that I have ever done a 35. I think
Really?
casting wise, first time I've ever done 35. Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
So-
you know, the beautiful thing about a 35 is you can create your own squad and typically see your own pings, which I adore. Because if I'm casting 50s, I almost never get to see pings, and it frustrates me.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, dude. For sure. Yeah, and you know, and I like to capture. I'm tempted to turn on command chat. I'm tempted, mostly because you know, I love hearing what the communication is like between. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. If they hate me,
Ooh.
so what? I want to hear. I'm gonna turn it on low. I'm gonna turn it on low, just a little bit. But I want to hear. I want to hear what they have to say. They did ask me to wait on deploying for about a minute, so I'll have to look at the map to see what's going on. But
all right, here we go.
I am curious as well, as I am waiting to join 173. It looks like people are still loading in, so I'm going to give them some time.
Okay.
But it looks like they'll be running 2 armor. How about you? How many armor?
I'm. Let me look. They got 2. They got 2 armor. Butters from 3AC with Grape Ape and Biggest are going to be running 1 tank, and then Lieutenant General Buttery Bit is going to be running that other tank as well. Savage Shock, obviously the commander for 3AC. It looks like Big Red is going to be the commander for the Ghost Squad, 173rd. So super excited for this. I'm going to go ahead and deploy in. Hopefully they gave them enough time. But WN4 is going to be the center point. Hill 5 and Uncle Red for 3AC, and then Legrand. Legrand is going to be the second point for the Axis, and then Saint Marie Approach is going to be the first point for the Ghost Squad. So really looking forward to this. We'll see. Looks like that medium is going to roll up to the north as well. They're going to run a Stewie. Man, I don't know about you. I am a big Stewie fan myself. I love me a good Stewie.
If you want me to get
would
that
love to see him.
Garrison, or you got it?
I would love
I
to,
got it, baby. I got it.
I'm going to run the command chat just a little bit lower. But I would like to see, I would love, you know what, I don't know about you, I would love to see a little bit of aggressive play from the Stuart. I really would. You know, the fact that the Stuart can take so many hits as it can take out heavies from the rear if you play it right, especially if you play it really aggressively. We saw that in Broken Arrow versus ICF with this incredible Stuart play by the Chinese. So I'd really like to see something like that. No guarantee, obviously. No guarantee that that happens, but we got about 30 seconds left.
Interestingly enough, on 173rd side, they are running the medium, which makes sense, and then they are opting to choose the Lux, which
Interesting. So no Puma.
sorry, my correction. They're running the Puma and not the Lux, which I would have personally taken the Lux, as the Lux, you know, at least for the initial cap, you can be aggressive, just like you said.
Yeah.
You can really storm in there, and it's a tank. It's not really a recon, so it'll, like you said, kind of like Stuart, you know, bounce some shots. But 30 seconds to go, everybody seems to be at the line on my side. So
yeah, absolutely. We are about to roll, baby. We are about to roll. It's gonna be great. That's it. We are off to the races here, so you can see big north approach coming in for 3AC. I gotta be really careful and not say PKG. I'm so used to it. I'm looking in the wrong space. Of course I am. No, I'm not. Gosh, I am off my game today.
Uh-oh. Looks like 173rd may have gotten their truck stuck, as I'm starting to see people start
Really?
to pile up.
No cap pressure yet. We can see a truck coming in on the right side. 7 passengers in on that transport truck. No rocket snipes coming in. 1 squad leader drops out. Good to see X-Grom. I'm gonna have to change. I think when I loaded my game back up, it reset everything. So I got to.
I'm sending 5 rounds on H-Spot artillery marker.
Let's make sure that we have our max distances.
No, I'm curious to see what's going to happen if if
Oh, that's brutal. So must have been a delay for 173rd because they are way far behind getting to the point. 3AC taking clear command of the point. Stealthy and the boys, Whiskey and McClucken on the point.
Grandma's clear.
And look at this. There was a transport truck rolling out on the west-southwest side. And MG is the only guy in it. He is going to set up. This may be a really, really clever play. I'm curious where he's going to set up. They do got a tank mark on the west side.
173rd has a P4 looking directly into cattle sheds right now.
And they're getting
Or
good
the
shots.
cattle barns.
Oh, and Minister dies. Trying to drive the truck out. Down goes the truck. The P4 got hit. They have a decent idea of where that tank is for 3AC. But, I mean, this is a brutal approach for Ghost Squad here. I mean, this is just absolutely brutal. It's so much open ground. 3AC already. 3-quarter cap already coming in on the point on WN4. They do got a pretty decent line for 3AC. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the map. 2 backline garrisons. I can't get a dual map right now for whatever reason, but we're going to run... actually, let's try this here. Yeah, dual maps are up. So we got 2 backline garrisons for both teams.
Able marker Gary.
And we do
We
got the
one garrison in Delta 3, 1 garrison in Delta 4, and 173rd is struggling right now.
Yeah. So really, they're going to play that PZ4 back, and then we got the medium rolling up. They know where the position on that tank is, so they're going to roll up, but it looks like he may just try to cover the infantry support coming in on the west side of the point. Lots of overground. We see one guy running out in the middle of the open, Specialist Bilal. Down he goes, though. AT shot trying to go for the medium. The medium playing very aggressively right as the PD4 starts to move. And he's going to lay down coax shot on that west side. We do got some infantry starting to curl around on the south side. That Stewart's there as well. Already took out the truck on the
We do have a tank engagement. The 75 is now engaging the P4.
Copy. And we can see that's a hit on the medium, Sherman. He's got eyes on it. A hit. But he may be too late. Down goes the medium for 3AC. And just like that, you know, this is exactly what we were talking about in the match before. Do these tanks play aggressive? That medium Sherman rolled out very aggressively, and he ended up paying the price for it. We got some already laying down hate, but there's hardly anyone on the point. 3AC is going to push out a little bit, but they're also going to maintain a pretty wide line. Little do they know, man. Like, so this is what's really interesting. If you look at the south side of the point, 173rd has a decent amount of infantry up there. 1 machine gunner in the House Minister. But we got some guys that are pushing in on the south side of the point. Not necessarily aware. And the Stewart just got hit in the rear. Can't tell. A Puma just hit it. You see that Puma out in the distance. I'm not sure he'll be able to get a second shot. He did get one. Yep, missed his second shot. So the Stewart's going to live to survive another day.
Beautiful work. I mean, 173rd is doing a good job to put pressure on, but they're going to struggle to get into the hard cap due to this barbed wire. This is one of the worst points for 173rd to get in terms of just getting in there and getting pressure.
But they're making it count. You can see they're using that south side, but that Stewart just got on that south side just in the nick of time. They did ping a tank, though, so that Stewart's going to need to react to it. It looks healed. It looks like it's not in danger, but they have pings on a tank. I'm not sure. Is that a tank on the west side? Is that an Axis tank? Yep, he just got hit. We're going to look at it from the... And look at that. That PZ4 just lined up. See if you're able to get shots on that Stewart. Down he goes. So the PZ4 just took out its second tank of the day. So armor superiority in favor of 173rd, but the point is in favor of 3AC currently.
Setting rounds on a HR trailing.
Starting to see a northern push right now from Ghost Squad as they're kind of taking this road into the point. I mean, a little bit slow, but nice and cautious.
There's a lot of guys spawning on that north side. There is already smoke rounds, but it's a little bit early. That PZ4, you can see there, they got pings on it. He's gonna roll up. 3AC knows about it, but there ain't nothing they can do about it. If you look at the map real quick, there is a heavy rolling up for 3AC up on that north side, but it's slow. It's gonna take some time. So that PZ4 is probably gonna try to help on that south side. And what I'm seeing from 3AC, good reaction to wherever the pressure is coming in from. You know, they had pressure initially on the south side. 3AC brought in their steward and got some help. And then we see 173rd rotate to the north. Good pressure by 3AC to cover it. There's good communication going on here.
You just saw Contest quickly go out on the on LeGrand,
and we're losing it.
3AC, but now we're seeing WN4 swing the way of 173rd.
Yeah, and that PZ4 making all the world's difference. Yeah, and you're gonna see 3AC gonna have to collapse back into the point. Gonna work in favor. Just that little bit of pressure by that PZ4 playing a little bit more aggressive now that the tanks are out of the picture.
Enemy tank pushing up on Grandma's.
Until that 76 comes into play. I'm assuming it's a 76 at least for 3AC. Look at this. Outlaw gets killed by WTF, my cookie. Just not enough pressure yet.
Looks like a
P4 about to get engaged by AT. As AT.
Yeah, he got one shot on the rear. Maybe he'll turn just in time. Peck wrecked. Oh, that's a beautiful turn by the PZ4. Down it goes. He just slaughtered him. But down it goes for the 76 just in the nick of time. Beautiful awareness by the 76. Good communication. And 3AC getting a little bit of armor superiority back in their favor, but surely at some point we talked about the resources for both of these teams. I'm going to pull up both of the maps right now. And we can see that, you know, the fuel on the 3A side is actually a little bit, or sorry, for 173rd, a little bit low. A lot of fuel for 3AC here. So they may not be able to get I don't know if they just deployed did they deploy a Panther, or is there no Panther
They
in
have
play?
a half track on the field, and they
no.
also have a heavy.
Okay, so at least they have a heavy, so they're gonna go with a half track. Not a bad strategy when you have the resources for it. Will be interesting to see, does it pay off, because they're losing they just lost their medium. So, and a 76 is just rolled up for 3AC. We do got cap pressure up on the ground. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at that real quick.
And a reinforce goes out for
my
173rd.
God. But there's no one there. You know, we were just talking about the resources issue. When you got no one on the point, but you do a reinforce. Unbelievable. We're gonna take a look at the map real quick. No garrisons close except one far south on LeGrand. We got one garrison far south on LeGrand, and that's where they're pushing in for. We got some guys coming in from the north.
Sending rounds your way, stealthy.
Can they get there in time?
There's a Gary, it has to be in those trenches on their red line. That's where they're running in from. Plus they're
Judging by the map layout, you know, I think 173rd might be able to hold this. They are wrapping around, surrounding the two teams. Overall, the pressure looks pretty good.
Well, and a Puma just rolled into the picture as well. Good awareness by the Puma to draw back, and they are getting the cap pressure back. Good awareness. I mean, they almost got caught. Almost got caught. So and down they go. Goes Skirmy. Outlaw goes down, but so does Frag and Hippo tight. Hippo is the only one left on this point. And he may get taken out here. Down he goes, Private Gaz with the hip fire. So they just cleared the point, but the garrison is not cleared on the south side. There is a garrison for 3AC up on this south side, and it's positioned beautifully. In case they do capture fourth point, it will be immediate pressure onto fifth point. You could just see it. And they're going to take the opportunity, so they drew off some pressure. 3AC drew off a little bit of pressure off of third point, and now they're going to start pushing in from the east side as well. I think they originally came in from the south side, but a lot of guys for 173rd having to draw back here.
AT's on. You have two. Hey, Butters, come back to me. Come back.
I mean, you're watching this Tiger tank kind of head towards WN4 as if he's going to try and take it out himself. I'm curious to see what they're going to do.
Oh my gosh. Big spawn wave on the north side for 173rd. Must be an airhead. Must be an airhead or a back end Gary. Lots of guys just spawned on that.
Give me a second there. I just got somebody else can grab it.
Getting the fan goes down by Stealthy.
Front door carries up.
They're not pushed in yet, not getting cap pressure, and there is good response by 3AC against 173rd on this north side. Down goes Silly by Grom. There's the airhead. You can see it right there up on that north side, just on the
Bombing run
northeast side
coming
of the
out for
building.
173rd.
There was a spawn wave, about 3 guys, but down goes an OP. Good positioning by my cookies. Oh, and they got this locked down. Bombing run, but just too late? Maybe. Coming in through the point, guarantee not going to take out the Garrison on the point. Garrison still up for 3AC on the point, but they are flooding in. But just as they do, they start to lose cap pressure on 4th. It's just too late.
We're 1-to-1 capping.
Rom, can you give me a ping on that?
You know, this is a point in time where you really have to. It's not just a resource management game, but it's a player management.
Yeah.
Where do you send your guys? You're in
Yeah.
a cap race right now.
OP
What do
swapping.
you do?
Yeah, OP swapping. And they continue to get cap pressure up on this 4th point. And let's go ahead and take a look at the maps real quick. I want to see, is there a Garrison up on that north side of LeGrand? It's way far away for 173rd. Way far away. There is no Garrison on the point. That may be brutal. And there is literally a Garrison on the northwest side, just probably about 150 meters away from LeGrand for 3AC. This is going to be lots of trouble for both of these teams. This could be a lot of trouble. We got an hour and 13 left, and it's already cap pressure. It's turned into a cap race. I don't even know which side to look at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking at LeGrand right now. It's
Okay.
looking in the favor of 3AC. You have about 4 people on the point right now. It's about a 4-to-1 ratio as supplies goes down for the Axis.
So the question then becomes, can they get a Garrison up in time, and can they get enough guys back? But really, oh my gosh, it is about as close of a cap race as it could possibly be. Both sides have committed at this point. Both sides are committed. There's literally no one on the point for either side. They have fully. It's a point swap at this point.
Yeah, I think looking at the points,
It's
I
tough.
think 3AC is going to pull ahead with this. They appear to be in the lead, and you know, I don't know if that's something I'd want to take, that trade-off.
Such a gamble.
There's no Garrison.
It is such a gamble.
There's also no Garrison on last point either at the same Mare approach.
Yeah, so if 3AC caps 4th point, it is going to get brutal for 173rd. They have thrown all their eggs in one basket really early, and it looks like 3AC is going to cap that. We can already see it. Yep, cap
And
progress
as
going
I
back
say
in
that, they have
favor.
2 people. They have 2 people at the
Unbelievable.
last point.
So that's it. So that is going to be in favor. So it's going to be 4-1 for 3AC. Point taken. I'm sorry I didn't do the point taken originally. We've been 2-2 this whole time, but and there it goes. Cap progress in favor. Just 2 guys have already locked out the Garrison. This is it. I mean, this is it.
And the ones who just cap, keep Grand, and then be back.
Ninja, Teletubby, and Minister putting in the work. You know, you have a squad leader there too. You can
Yeah.
get an OP down under that bridge. As we see 2 more squad leaders and a recon come up.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at both of this gameplay here. So about 3 more guys coming in for 3AC on this point, continuing to cap in favor of 3AC.
Yes or no, Gary?
I
or no?
don't see anything. They've been coming out of the spawn.
They cannot find the Garrison on 5th point for 3AC.
I got OP. We have OP. I have an OP on point. Flex guys to it.
I don't think there is one.
No.
Yeah, supplies
Stealthy
coming
calling
down.
it out. He took out an OP, but no Garrison found. I'm not sure they had it. They threw all their eggs in one basket. I mean, the minute that they put that Garrison on the south side of 4th point, you knew if they lost the point, it was going to be trouble. I mean, it is. I mean, that's over.
got
Yeah.
flares on,
That's over.
Tiger's engine's dead.
And as quickly
be a-
as it started, it's going to end.
Satchel on tank. Satchel on tank.
2-2 on
The question is, will it breach the 20-minute mark?
I wouldn't be a gambling man. Look at that big
Big
spawn.
wave.
Took out the guys in the truck, but the truck is still up. Nope, down he goes. They're not going to get there
Airhead
in
coming
time.
down.
Emergency airhead. Yeah, desperation airhead. Not going to be in time. Just too late. They've done that airhead on the 3rd point, trying to cap it. Lost it. Lost the 3rd point. Already coming in. One last round. They contested it. Just for oh no, it's brutal. They contested it just for 1 second. They contested it again. Unbelievable. No, it goes. Oh, so close for 173rd, trying to get it back. So close. And just like that, it is going to be over.
That was an impressive game from
It
3AC.
was.
They played a phenomenal job.
It really was. I'm not sure if there's going to be a rematch or not. That was so dang quick. I mean, I would love to see a rematch. Honestly, I think both sides would benefit from running it back, even if it's on the other side. I know there's not even planning, but let's go. I mean, we got the time. I mean, hell, they didn't go 30 minutes. Yeah, they're calling for a rematch. Calling for a rematch on the 3AC side. So stay tuned. It may not be over yet. We may be watching a second one. Just stay tuned for a little bit. We'll see here. But let's get some thoughts on this match. So, one of the things I thought was really interesting was we talked about the armor. Do we play aggressive? Do we play less aggressive? And I think that what's funny is that 173rd originally won the tank battles. PZ4 took out the Stewart. PZ4 took out the medium. And they pushed aggressively, got had some help. But inevitably, that PC4 went down. The 76 just came in at the nick of time, and sometimes that's how it works, even if you get 2 up on tanks.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I'll say. I think getting your truck stuck as Axis on WN4 is not what you want to do. That really cost them the midpoint, I think. And when it came down to it, I think 3AC were just better at rotating from defense to offense, and they were able to manage their players better. And when they got in that cap race, they, with the better player management, led to that 4th point being captured. Route to hurrah.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you got to see it from your end. I'm really curious what your perspective was. It looks like they're staying in. So we may still be watching another match. So please stay tuned until we figure out whether or not there is going to be a rematch. I don't know about you, I'd love to watch it. I would love to watch it. It's tough to tell. They still got their players in. So this may be a rematch. They may just be trying to figure out what's going on right now. So on your end, when they came, what happened on 173rd side? It looks like was it a truck that got stuck? I mean, they just did not get to the point anywhere close to the time. I know that is a tough approach on that west side for the Axis, but it didn't seem like they got anywhere near the point. I mean, it was an easy 3AC cap up on that Allied side.
Yeah, it really seemed like that they were scared about artillery at first, so they decided to opt out from taking the bridge over a water system and going to the right of it, and thus ended up getting themselves stuck, which led them to have to run to their 4th point to get a launch garrison up. And, I think when it comes down to it, you can be ballsy at this level. I think you can try and make that rush for the mid cap and try and make that race. They had a great setup, a great launch opportunity in the beginning with supplies coming down perfectly timed with the gate drop.
Yeah.
I think the poor truck driver getting that truck stuck was one of the big faults. I think the tanking was excellent. I'd say 173rd did an amazing job of playing their cards right, staying back. I mean, that's the same level of tanking that you see at a top level, just very passive tanking.
Yeah.
Very hard to come
It's something that we would see from a team like ESPT, right? Like,
Correct.
and I think I think some people would say that ESPT maybe doesn't have the best tankers in the world, but certainly they play. I mean, they got them far enough to the final, so they did good enough to get their team to the final. And I think, and one of the things that we see with ESPT and some of these other teams is a lot more reserved tank play, and it paid off. It paid off. The minute that 3AC pushed their tanks forward was the minute they got in trouble. And funny enough, that Panzer IV actually was starting to move right as that medium came into play, but just the positioning on it, good call outs by 173rd. And I think that goes to show, man, with even with superior tank play, sometimes you may not have the infantry support to push. And so, does that make the difference? I'm not sure. They got that 76 up there, and it's just really difficult, and it just turned into this massive cap race that, they were just hoping that one way or the other. And the one difference I think that I saw from 3AC versus 173rd is 3AC tried to slow the cap. They tried to slow the cap on third, and it did, and it worked. And they were already winning, but when they got on there, they solidified it, and I think that's good coordination on 3AC side. I thought that was really incredible to watch. So good on 3AC. Tough one for 173rd. That truck could very well make the difference, make it a lot more competitive. But it wasn't like 173rd was out after that. It was great airhead on that northeast side. It took some damage, but allowed some guys to get in. It was actually not a bad bombing run. Not a bad bombing run on the point. It just, I don't know what you feel, but bombing runs on those kind of points where you have the enclosures, right? You have a barn system. It's so tough because the primary purpose of bombing runs, in my opinion, is to take out garrisons. And when you have garrisons that are shielded like that and probably aren't going to be taken out by a bombing run, it's tough to justify using a bombing run in this situation. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that, Half?
Yeah, I definitely think using a bombing run is something that can be an issue. I think what it really comes down to is when you do decide to use the bombing run, you have to be right. You have to say, this is the right call. We're sending everybody, or we're sending all the offense, or however your team splits it up. You're sending all those guys to come in after the bombing run. Bombing runs are only as effective as the infantry makes it. I think at the end of the day, this is a first-person shooter, but right behind it, as you were talking about earlier, it's a communication game. How do your tanks and your infantry stack up together, and how do they talk to each other and know what to do? You see 173rd's tanks cause utter destruction in taking out those two tanks in the beginning, but then what you don't see is the infantry responding. And what you're seeing on 3AC's side is once that 76 came in, took out that P4, instantly there was an infantry response onto LeGrand.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're trying to get the word on what is happening. The guys are still in, so I think it's pretty clear at this point it will be a rematch, which is exciting. I don't want to end it with. That was the quickest cast I've ever done, unfortunately. Rematch in 2 minutes. They've just called it. Rematch in 2 minutes. So please stick with us. We got another one coming up. It looks like they're going to run it back as the same teams, which means different points. Which will be really exciting. At least it looks like they're doing a map flip. It's tough to tell at this point, but we'll get to see here.
If they don't do a map flip, this will be my first ever stream on an offensive map.
I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad if we got to watch an offensive. I would not be mad at all. I'll be honest.
I'd be very curious to see what the strats are. I mean, I think the defensive is obviously going to have an advantage here, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'd kind of rather see it, something different, something new.
What's so funny is, though, I remember the very first time that the Senate decided to do it. Was it the Senate? No, SNS, which was hosted by formerly USMC, now Falscrim. They did an offensive. It, funny enough, was the first time that I've ever done like a live casting. Very, very first time. And it was an offensive. I remember it was Wolfpack versus Falscrim, I believe. Our Wolfpack was on the defensive. Did not win. Did not win. Kind of a brutal on Stalingrad, nonetheless. So
Wow.
yeah, on Stalingrad. So I like offensive. I would think it'd be really interesting, dude. Imagine, okay, if they want to create a competitive league. I don't know about you guys. Please put this in the comments. I would really be interested to see. Are you gonna roast me in the comments about this? But imagine, you know how we do 18s and we flip sides, right? So it ends up being 2 matches, right? Imagine doing an offensive tournament, okay? Make it fewer teams, maybe 8 teams. Do it tournament style, okay? So not a lot of matches, okay? But best of 3 offensive. So you defend once, you attack once, and then flip of a dime if it gets to that third one. But do offensive. The problem I think with that is the building of the points. But I will say this though. From a casting perspective, would be freaking amazing to watch a team try to assault a fully built up point. And on top of it, they'll know that. The attacking team will know that they're building. So the question then becomes, can they attack enough and get the points quick enough to where they're not built up enough to cap second point? I don't know what your thoughts. You're probably going to be like, dude, no way that works. No way that works. But I don't know, dude. I think it'd be exciting. I think it'd be cool.
I don't think it works, but I am a dreamer at the end of the day, and you make me into a dreamer. So you know what? If you say it works, I believe you. And
Half let loose, dude. That's the half let loose tournament right there. Offensive mode tournament. Please let us know in the chat. I did see Almighty Fallen just put 3AC next top NA team. Hey, they did very well. Did very well against 173rd. But hey, let's see the rematch. Let's see what happens. Hopefully Savage Dog doesn't kill me in the game. He's like staring right at me right now. Yeah, so there will be, we're still waiting for this map flip to happen, so please bear with us. Hopefully our talking isn't boring you at all, but I would love to hear what your thoughts are on an offensive mode only tournament for Hell Let Loose. I don't think it's been done before. It is barely ever done for FNF, offensive modes, but I think for a lot of people there's a stigma. They hate offensive. They hate offensive mode. I don't know about you. I like it. I love building a point, dude. I love going Bob the Builder, and not that I do Bob the Builder. Get behind you. But I love going Bob the Builder and building points, dude. I don't know about. Do you like building points? Have you ever? Well,
I don't.
I'm
really don't.
I'm talking to the guy who doesn't play as much Hell Let Loose. Is like, it's so funny. You're such a good caster, but you hardly play Hell Let Loose at all. Maybe there's a correlation. Between like you be a good caster and not playing as much. The results speak for themselves, you know.
I spent a lot less time in an event server playing tanks by myself, and spent a lot more time watching VODs and sort of participating in the community ever since I quit playing. And honestly, like, I like it, but also, you know, there are times when I'm watching players do things, and I'm sitting there and I go, man, I don't even know if I could still do that, you know?
Yeah. Well, I love the creativity, right? I love, like, I think there are certain times where I've casted and I just look and they do something that I've never seen before. Some of it is my lack of experience. It's well known. I just don't know. Like, for example, when we did the charity stream last, and it was on St. Mary Glace. The midpoint was on St. Mary Glace, which is the perfect point for this for a charity match, right? And they drop an airhead literally into the steeple of the church. Like, or apparently you could do that. You could drop it straight into the steeple of the church.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. So good to know. The other thing, and I'm gonna throw Savage Dog under the bus a little bit. I love you, Savage Dog. Okay, just listen. There is a map change, so I will have to tell this real quick. On Stalingrad, apparently you could drop an airhead on the roof of the second point for the Soviet sides, that midpoint. It's that hotel, that like big story building. So I watched when Easy Tack and BKG played. Savage Doc was in the building. He was the only one on defense. And they dropped the airhead. He did not see it coming. Literally dropped right next to him. He was on the top roof. And he goes down just for a split second, opens up, and they deploy on the airhead like just at the wrong. He was just barely off on the timing of locking it out, and they took it from the inside out. It was a true Trojan horse scenario, but unbelievable, dude. I don't know if you have any stories like that, but any examples?
Oh, we have a beautiful 5-minute clip of, I believe we played. I almost want to say it was Lucky Strikes fam in APL. It was some team in APL in 35s, and somebody placed an airhead right in our point, and we missed it.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they get
Oh my gosh, no way. So WM4 is the midpoint again. So 173rd, this is good. This is good. 173rd is going to get an opportunity to get back into this. So yeah, can't get too mad. Can't get too mad. Here we go. So we're gonna look at the map real quick. So Mammoet Radar, Sunken Bridge for 173rd WN4, as I previously mentioned, is going to be the midpoint. AA Battery and a Red Roof are going to be points 2 and 1 for 3AC as well. So we're gonna go ahead and deploy in. We're gonna see how things are going. We're gonna get rolling. Hopefully the truck drives a little bit better for 173rd. Get a good opportunity for them to get a little bit of a little bit of chance to redeem themselves, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, especially with the same point, you got to know, you're going to know what's going on. You're going to know the mistakes that you made. Maybe you tuned into the match or into the stream between matches.
Yeah.
And you heard a few of our thoughts.
sir.
But they have this
Supplies on
opportunity
bottom,
now
missing supplies on bottom.
to kind of show 3AC what's up.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see here, I'm going to look at the maps real quick for both teams
Minnie's with
real
me.
quick here. And as you can see here, so for BKG, they've already got a garrison marked. They're going to put a garrison up on that southeast side of WN4. Last time they had a garrison up on the north side as well. Both teams did a really good job of getting garrisons ahead of time. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of marks for 173rd, so can't exactly tell, but surely they're going to get one at Sunken Bridge and another one on the southwest side of WN4. The real question is, 173rd won these tank battles. So the points to be reckoned with a little bit here is how does 3AC approach this now that they know kind of what happened on the tank front? Are they going to play a little bit farther back? Are they going to play a little bit reserved? And then the real question mark on the 173rd side for Ghost Squad, are they going to get their truck in on time? Are they going to try to win this point right off the bat? In my opinion, you have to. I don't know what your thoughts are. Half.
Yeah, I think absolutely you have to generate some sort of pressure. I think it's in most competitive matches, you almost never see a point just completely given up. So you got to put at least some pressure, establish your backlines at the very least. But I mean, it looks like they're driving on the roads. Not too many marks up, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is a more competitive fight for midpoint. I could be wrong. We'll see.
So it's really interesting. So I know I have the chat low, but what they were talking about in the command chat was they think that it's going to be a little bit of a tougher push on the grandma's houses, that they believe that Ghost Squad is going to put a little bit more emphasis on grandma's house, which if you're not familiar with the terminology, it is the strong point on the south side of the point for that northern point. So we'll see if we can get some double action going here. See what's happening on the approach side. Big truck coming in for 173rd. And we got the truck coming in. It's going to drive through battery for 3AC.
I play this the same way, but South Squad, since it's a south point.
Yeah, 173rd opting to take the bridge this time. Looks like they're going to go right past it, and they should make it into the midpoint. I mean, we'll see.
Is Ninja still here?
You could hear 3AC on the comms basically saying, hey, we're going to run this pretty much the same, except a little bit more emphasis on the south side because of that point being way on the south.
Have Token do that if someone Cat's in here.
I say that. No, because it's not a southern point. That's probably what they said. You can see that truck driving in. It is initial cap pressure for 173rd this time, but a truck is literally driving straight into the point.
Flank this game.
4-3 AC. The question is, I mean, I just don't get. Oh, here we go. We got a truck coming in on the north side. Took out the truck. 4-3 AC. Big spawn on the north side. 173rd. Already close, but no cigar. They're gonna rush in. Gonna get cap pressure. 173rd now getting cap pressure. Already takes out one guy. Good tank shots up on the warehouse. And McClellan's gonna try to get on top, get some MG fire.
Hey, we just killed.
Currently back in favor of 3AC. They did take some, I mean, they're winning the gunfights. 3AC winning the gunfights. Mike and Outlaw gonna face off against each other. Down goes Mike. Outlaw taking him out. And he is the squad leader. Smokey and Outlaw in the trenches together, but down goes Outlaw. Another spawn wave for 173rd. They gotta know now they're on the north side. And Smoky laying it down. That's a three-piece. You can see here McClucken up on that MG spot. Up top on the silo. Tank shot trying to hit him, but couldn't get it. So they're going to play reserved again on that PC4. He had good tank shots up on the warehouse, but it was not enough to help with the cap pressure. Still spawning from an OP on that north side. There's a full 5-man. I say full. That's a 5-man spawn. Recovering it. And they're pushing into the point. Can they stop the cap pressure is the real question. 173rd getting good pressure inside the point, but 3A holding strong. And just like that, a little bit of switch. 3AC still getting it though. But a lot of guys are starting to flood in for 173rd on this hard cap.
Yeah, the hard cap's gonna be pretty contested. I mean, you see Stealthy and Mike and McFucking, but you know, if 173rd are able to hold this barn, it's gonna spell trouble for 3AC.
Yeah,
as they have a lot of people on the south side and not many people on the north side.
Oh my gosh, it's brutal. MG on MG action. Stealthy and Spicy right next to each other. Don't say each other. There goes Stealthy. So cap progress in favor of 173rd. Stealthy's gonna have to make a move on this point, start taking people out. He's already been doing it. And the sniper, Hazurium,
is quiet.
It's mainly front door.
they're saying that the pressure is mainly front door, but truth be told, that OP was on the north side. Did Mike get that OP for 173rd on that north side? Not sure. Good shots. So despite the overwhelming pressure that 173rd is putting on, we're seeing 3AC making a lot of shots with a few guys, and they're still getting cap progress in favor. Stealthy goes down in the barn. McClucken as well. Just absolutely brutal. It is a trade Mike. And so for 173rd go down on the north side, 3AC still getting cap pressure despite the fact that there's a lot of 173rd guys up on the hard cap. And now the medium is going to roll into the point here. PC4 is moving out in the distance. Stewart trying to take shots on it. And it looks like even with the people on the point, 3AC is going to cap. That is a cap for 3AC. And down goes a lot of those guys.
P4 knows.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Knows it's hunting. It's hunting.
They do see that tank. PZ4 rolling south. So got a truck. He's got lots of infantry around him, including two AT guys. One goes down, no MG.
Oh my god.
And another one. Oh no. CPA clutch. Having a little bit of spawn issues. Little bit of ping issues. PZ4 rolling on the back of the Stewart. They got an AT shot, but the tank shot missed. Oh, but he's inching out. not engine out, but he's hurt. Oh, he's hurt. PZ4 gonna roll in, but that medium's got to be somewhere, right? That medium, I believe, is still up. PZ4
Right
still
him.
missing. Got him finally. So Stewart is down for 3AC. So again, we're seeing a little bit of armor dominance. Medium's still up. He's got to know the position now that the Stewart has gone down. He's gonna roll south. PZ4 driving back to friendly territory.
You know, 173rd is at an interesting option right now. They have a Tiger spawn. The question is, do they take it and leave the Panzer IV, or do they stay in the Panzer IV till death?
You know, the vehicles aren't an issue. You know, sometimes when you got too many vehicles on the field, obviously that could be an issue. And just as I say this, I'm going to interrupt real quick. PZ4 rolling into the point. Pretty darn close. AT shot. Barely missing over the top. But going back to what I was saying, you know, you could spawn multiple vehicles, leave that. You could leave that PZ4 low shot for my cookies. I did see a Puma as well going back territory. He has been pinged by 3AC, but with an AT guy close. I mean, what would you do in this situation? Would you leave that PZ4 up in the middle of nowhere and try to bring that Tiger? Maybe even send a person back to bring it up while you got to run a two-man crew?
No?
Typically, what I like to do is I'll leave the spotter, or the spotter will leave, and then we'll have the gunner and driver drive it into the middle of the point. Cause as much chaos as possible.
Beautiful shot on the Puma. One shot, though, did not take him out. And he may be in tough shape. Mike trying to get another shot. 173rd finally losing all their guys on the point. PZ4. Down goes the Puma, but the PZ4 is rolling up to that north point. So the PZ4 playing a lot more aggressive now.
Airhead.
Airhead?
Airhead right next to the PZ4 coming down.
Oh, here we
Landing
go.
right
And they just took out Mike. So the real question is, do they see it coming? I'm not sure that they do. Gang up in the house. Oh, Cookies doesn't know. PZ4 causing chaos. Distracting him at the very least. I see Kantar and Boom. Shout out to those boys from Kantar Boom's server speed band speedrunner server. Big spawn wave by 173rd on that north side. They got no idea. Bombing run coming in through the point. It seems a little bit early. Garrison still on the point for WN4 for 3AC. Already coming on the north side, takes one out.
Tankies run up to you. You're gonna be face front to the tank.
75 versus, or is that a 76? My apologies, 75 about to engage. Ooh, destroys the PZ4.
So PZ4 goes down. You can see that 76 way out in the open. He may have visual on that airhead. He does. He's at least getting shots on the airhead. Is still up. The airhead is not visible to him, but the infantry running south is. They gotta move. Or they're gonna get shellacked by that 76 as long as he's still stationed up. I actually don't see him out in the distance. The 76 is moving up, trying to get visual on that. Medium now rolling up to support that northern push. Good response. Again, 76 just rolling up in the in the nick of time basically for 3AC. Oh, shot just barely missed for the 76. The problem is they just ran this match not 30 minutes ago, and they're putting this airhead literally in the exact same spot. At some point in time.
Hero Lux.
Dude,
Lux
Hero
comes
Lux.
out for 173rd.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the maps real quick for both teams. So you can see here, lots of garrisons, of good garrison spawns. We got some guys trying to get pressure in, and they are contesting Sunken Bridge with a Lux. They do got garrisons on the west and northeast side of Sunken Bridge for 173rd. Question is, do they respond in time on the point because they are losing cap progress? Let's go ahead and take a look up on Sunken Bridge. Still got an hour 16 left, and 3AC getting good cap pressure on.
Savage, I wish you would ask me there.
It's literally just it's the same thing that happened in that last match. As soon as they get an airhead up, 3AC capitalizing and get pressure on.
Yeah, I think it comes down to all about, you know, when you have that airhead, who is going on that airhead, who's staying back on defense. 'Cause it looks like everybody's taking the airhead, and then 3AC is able to just walk on
Walked
in
in.
while they have a few people
They just
on
walk in the
defense.
front door. So we do got some guys who coming back in for Ghost Squad. Contested point for third, but 3AC still capping on fourth. Skirmy holding it down, takes out Cord Dog. Or Cord Nog, I'm sorry. Bath goes down, Mankenstein takes him out, but they are still getting, they need to get on this point now. But Skirmy and the boys are holding it down on fourth. No longer contesting third. Oh, they are. And Cap Progress back in favor of 173rd.
Big spawn wave, Jake. Tiger on that.
They just called in a big spawn wave up on the west side. They know where they're coming in from. They at least kind of know the general direction. And guess what? 3AC has wrapped around them. They're gonna go for the garrison here, up on that west side of the point.
This is going to be a huge play right now, because if 3AC are able to capitalize on this capture, you have the 75 rolling in right now. The 75
Oh my
should
gosh.
be able to deal with this Lux, and there's no garrison, only a half track on the last point.
Unbelievable. Big spawn wave off the garrison on the west side. AK and Wolfie both go down, taking some guys out, but the majority of the spawn wave still on. They tried to frag the garrison. It did not work. Another frag comes in, and body parts just fly everywhere. PTSD is now in effect. They're setting up MGs, and now they have the cover literally in their southwest flank. It is not looking good. That is a cap in favor of 3AC. They just got fourth, and the question now becomes, can they get pressure on the change now? Big HQ spawn. Actually, I don't know if that's an HQ spawn. That may be a garrison. But big spawn wave now on the fifth point for 173rd. So it's not going to be an immediate cap pressure like it was for the last one. 3AC is going to have to fight it. Lux goes down. Got it. So they have rolled up the medium for 3AC. Let's go ahead and take a look at the maps real quick and see what we're dealing with here. So we do got a red zone garrison for 173rd, but it is currently locked. There is a garrison on the west side as well as a half track. So they've learned their lesson from the last one. They have it covered. Do got garrisons up for 3AC on the south side and the east side of Sunken Bridge.
MG covering that.
And they're not settling here. They pushed up both of their tanks. They're not going to settle. It looks like for fourth point, it looks like they are going to try to go and see if they can take Mammoth, but you can see the plethora of red on my screen right now. Lots of guys for 173rd coming in.
It is dead. It's dead. It's dead.
Yeah, I think 173rd learned their lesson from last game, and they're not gonna get cap raced all the way back into a 5-0. Not letting it happen. Seeing a lot of people spread out. Nice work.
Yeah, absolutely. So 76 is now rolled into play on the south side, and the medium is up on the center. Going to be very difficult unless someone 73 can work their armor magic like they did before and see if they can get some tank kills. You know, what's really interesting is that despite 173rd getting the tank kills early on, has not really generated much because they pull in the 76 and end up winning it. Our infantry superiority does come into play. And you could see tank shots are rolling. They can shoot radar from their position up on fourth point. Really beautiful, really brutal.
Man, they have 2 tanks on Sunken right now. Just lobbing shots into the fourth point. Absolutely brutal.
You can see here a push on the north side. They had a garrison marked, and they took it down immediately. I'm not sure if they took out the garrison real quick, if there was even a garrison. Straight front coming into the fifth point. Mammoth is such a hard point to take. And 173 did a really good job of making sure they got guys back on in. Bombing run through the point for 3AC. The garrison's on the back side. The question is do they get the garrison? They got the nodes. They did get the nodes. I'm not sure I knew that you could take out nodes with a bombing run, but just like that, the nodes are gone. Is that against the rules?
You know, that's a good question.
That's
I've
a-
never even thought about that.
That's
I guess,
weird scenario because nodes are protected according to APL and seasonals rules, but the bomb, it wasn't a guy taking out, and surely they wouldn't have known. It was a bombing run. You almost have to blame. I don't know. That's a tough one. Never seen that before.
Yeah, I think if it's unintentional via bombing run,
It's gonna cost them though.
I'd say it's fair game, but yeah, it will definitely cost you.
It will. It will cost them. So 3AC now rotating to the south side of the point. Let's go ahead and look at the maps real quick. And you can see here, they don't got much of a line at all. Tanks are way out in the boonies trying to get around the 76 and the medium Sherman. But right now, they don't have much of a line. They are boxed into that point, and they have a 76 and a medium rolling in. So going to be really tough. Going to be really tough. Just a reminder, your casters for this match, Sheepdog and Hat Royal. We're honored that you're joining us. Thank you so much for tuning into the Dog's Den, for staying with us for 2 matches. You know, you got the 2 shows for the price of 1 if you're tuning in. So may not even lead to a full 90-minute, but down goes, I believe that was a half track that was set up, but it was set up in the middle of the open. I mean, you just can't have that. And now 3AC getting really close to this bunker here. Don't matter if your MGs are on top because they are literally flooding in. AK and Asinite have now gotten to the bunker and cap progress in favor of 3AC on the 5th point.
I'm not already in.
We took control.
I mean, they were already collapsed as it stands. And now
Looks
3AC.
like 173rd. 173rd has lost their garrison. They have nothing,
Oh,
no
no.
HQ. They're dropping supplies. It's desperation right now.
You know, the other desperation play, and the question does become, I mean, Airhead and Half Track is basically your only reprise. You know, I'm really curious. The positioning on those tanks seem a little bit off. You can even see it way out in the distance on my screen on Puma, literally driving up, and the PZ4 way out in the distance. I know they're trying to get around them, but holy crap! I mean, the point is in favor. I mean, it's over. No HQ spawn. You can see them deploying, 173rd deploying out of middle HQ. So just like that, 2 for the price of 1, 2-0 in favor of 3AC. They, throwing down precisions just for the fun of it at this point.
Supplies are coming from mid.
That's gonna be it. That's all that she wrote. 76.
Yeah, I mean,
is
what a two-match game.
It is. It's quick. I mean, less than 30 minutes to cap, to win it on the second one. Don't think there's going to be a rematch. Don't think there's going to be a rematch on this third one. But that's a game. Beautiful stuff by 3AC. Unfortunately, 173rd had their moments, but a lot better approach onto that midpoint on that third point. And they even had the numbers.
Good job.
Just couldn't get it. You can hear the GGs in the chat. That's it. Even TK'd each other. Just absolutely brutal. That's gonna be it. And that will be it. That'll be it. That is not. It is no rematch. No rematch after that.
Yeah,
But
the chat
that'll
is
be-
very quiet from 173rd right now.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. It's really tough. Just really tough to lose 2 times like that. And, I think that was even a quicker loss than that first match, unfortunately. So, hats off to 3AC. They go into APL probably with a bit of confidence. It's got to be a confidence boost for 3AC and for 173rd. If you're looking at it from 173rd's perspective, if you were to give advice or tell them anything, what would you tell them?
I think it comes down to understanding where players belong. A lot of the times, and it's a hard call, and this comes from team managers. When you're starting a team or like you're entering a tournament, you might have players that are really good in infantry, but are playing tanks and making some like roster moves for the sake of what they're good at and what they excel at, and complimenting and working with your players one-on-one. I think they have a great group. I mean, you saw how strong their tankers are, and their infantry look really good, but it also seems they're kind of spread out or all over the place. Find what people like to do, allow them to do those roles, and you'll find some serious success. I mean, look at some of the Broken Arrow guys. Some of those guys just throughout time have really improved by just doing what they like and getting really good at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree 100%. I'm going to go back to the comments real quick. So one of the things that we'd thrown out there was offensive tournament. Is that a thing? I'll read some of the comments. Sad Panda, I love the idea of an offensive match. I'd say have one match, coin flip, picks, one pick side, bake third point, the win zone. It's really interesting. So shorten it up a little bit. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. They build up third point instead of second point in this case. Makes it a little bit more difficult to build up. You have less time to get there. It's a good idea. Good idea. Smalls, who I believe also is Anderson from 7 Cav. Offensive, I think, is fine for public matches, but it's really great for training. Really interesting. You get more time on the during the match if it goes full. Obviously it can go up to 2.5 hours, right? So like not a bad thing. It's you get to continue to push or hold or defend or whatever. A lot more condensed. Not as spread out. Oftentimes. So not a bad idea. But yeah, those are the comments on the offensive. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. That will be adieu. So obviously, recap: 3AC winning 2-0, 2 matches against 173rd, aka Ghost Squad. I'm Sheepdog Half Royal. Thank you so much for joining me on this match. Drummer, as always, thank you so much for being the stream manager. We couldn't do it without you. Please stick around. We were going to throw it to another caster, caster, probably another streamer, another Hello streamer. Be sure to give him a little bit of love, a little bit of raid. Or she, whoever it is. I'm not entirely sure who it's going to be yet. So thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to check out our Discord.